Welcome to the first intermission from the Jeep 4x studio. Get exceptional range with Jeep plug-in hybrid SUVs. Jeep, making freedom electric. And now time for To The Point. We're going to dig deeper on the games in the second intermission. Jennifer, Kevin, and Kelly. Toronto, another, if you were worried about their afternoon napa, forget it. Great start yet again.
Nice.
And obviously,
very nice.
Brendan Gallagher breaks out. So that's it for me. Kelly, were you cool with the call on Besser?
I was. Right immediately after the goal went in, we took a shot of Lindy Ruff on the bench, and he was immediately looking down at the monitor, watching this. Here's JT Miller to the right of Nico Dawes, the goaltender. And in my opinion, because Miller's in the crease, and as the NHL official email came out, they said because he's there, he impairs the ability of Dawes to play his position. So in my opinion, this was a fairly easy call. Unfortunately for the Canucks, because they had a great start to this period, but that was the right call.
Lotto 649 back together. Kev, you went in on that?
I thought that was, I don't think it was an easy call. I think we still watched and we're debating, like, I don't know where they're going to go with this. You're right, Kel, like there is a bit of goalie interference.
Rarely I get that call right, and I did this
you
time.
did get it right from the beginning. I thought
yes.
they could maybe let it slide.
Dave Tomlinson, too, after looking at it, Kelly agreed with you. Okay, let's get to hits. They're going to discuss, Ellie will report on headlines a little bit later. The Reedy and March going to try to figure out boarding. What is a major, what isn't, what is a hit, what is clean. Jen, you were fantastic on Wednesday night. Now, Connor Bedard gets hurt last night, fractured jaw. Why don't you walk us through that hit?
Yes, I mean, no one wants to see Bedard injured after such a phenomenal start to his NHL career. But if you look at how this hit happens, he just gets by that first layer of New Jersey players, and he has to just double check to make sure he still has his puck. Look, he just gets a touch, turn around, and to make sure the puck is still on his stick, and loses the vision just for a fraction of a second, and that's when Smith comes in to deliver the hard blow.
I feel badly for the youngster because, listen, he's so talented. When is the last time he's had body contact in that, right? Like, he has been able to just go through the neutral zone, slice through there for years. You know, he's such a great player that he hasn't faced that contact, and at that time, it was a power play. He probably didn't recognize, just kick the puck out and don't take that hit.
So was it Mercer that kind of got a stick in there and maybe kind of can openered him a little, so he wasn't really able to notice it? But I mean, the way this all happens, Luke Richardson says after the game the hit was fine, and Brendan Smith, you know, he's a hard nose, he's a pretty honest player though, but the response is Nick Foligno, this is our young kid, our stud, so this is the scrum that happens right away, right? A bit of a tackle, not enough retribution if you're Chicago. So you'll see Brendan Smith doesn't run away from this. He understands, listen, it's a clean hit, but I know you're going to keep coming. I'm going to take this fight. It's a great fight by two respected tough guys. The linesmen there are going to pump their tires. They realize this was a long one. They let it go because they know this has to happen to calm everything else down. So this fight goes on for a while. Then there's a clean break. Nobody's hurt. And it's enough maybe retribution that at least nothing else happened in that game. But I agree, Jen. We don't want to see him hurt. But in that play, it was just incidental contact. It was a bit of a bad luck.
Too bad for Nick to break a finger in that fight, too, but that's the risk you run, and that's why it's kind of honorable when you do agree to go together. Let's get to the Nick Cousins and Jason Zucker's three games.
Buckle up, everyone.
No, well, maybe. We could sit here right now and we could debate fighting in the NHL. Like, what's the place of fighting? We could debate Michigan goals. Do you like them? Do you hate them? But the fact of the matter is people come to games and watch on TV in the hopes of seeing a Michigan goal, in the hopes of seeing a fight. They like it. Now, what people don't want to watch and see is kneeing, hitting a guy's head into the boards, ramming a guy from behind, and that is a common theme for a player in this league, and I've never done this before, but I have to do it because this is a trend with this player, and he's done this a numerous amount of times, ramming a guy's head into the boards. You know, the hit earlier in the year under Branson, this was Scheifele last year. Like, there's no place in the game for this, and what's the common theme in all these? Him at the bottom of the pile in a turtle position. Not like Brendan Smith standing up, taking your medicine. This has been a common theme for this player. And listen, I'm told he's a good guy. I'm told he's liked by his teammates, and he's actually a pretty good hockey player. But somebody in that organization or somebody that he respects has to sit down and say, enough of this. This doesn't help the Florida Panthers win. It doesn't make us a better team. Or the NHL has to come down and hammer this guy. My good friend Rafi Torres, love the guy. They didn't like some of the hits he was making. They hammered him with a 25-game suspension. They hammered him with a 41-game suspension, right? Somebody has to hammer this guy from the Department of Justice and put an end to these crappy hits because I hate them, and they remind me, like, that's a rat to me. I'm sorry, it is.
Well, you're right on. I can't add much to it other than, and then it leads to frustration. If that player isn't taken care of by the league, what else is Zucker going to do? He is so frustrated by that terrible hit that he lays on Valimaki. Like, there is no way in the world that Cousins should be going after Valimaki. That is so dangerous. And of course his teammate is going to be upset, so he's going to go after him. The bad thing is Zucker gets a 3-game suspension, Cousins nothing. And it happened once earlier this season with Cousins.
So I just think if you talk about the league, and we all love the game and we love the league, but there is always an opportunity for any high performer to say, let's not be satisfied with our current product, right? Are there things that we could do to be even better? And that's where, if it's the Department of Player Safety, to look at and say, is there this trend of plays that we don't like, and to step in to make sure, because there were several instances with Cousins, so that doesn't continue. And so that's just, I think, an opportunity for the league to reflect and to say, okay, how can we step in to prevent this from happening?
He makes me consider getting rid of the instigator rule, because the reason the instigator came in was because there was these big, tough heavyweights, and you couldn't have guys going. Now everybody's kind of like at the same level of toughness. Like, the instigator was meant to protect the rats, right?
It's like Goodbranson getting suspended for a fight. Darnell Nurse got suspended for fighting, whereas Pietrangelo just 1 game for using his stick like a weapon. Okay, to be continued. Tony Granato. Do we have time for Tony Granato? Yeah.
Tony fighting cancer, and he's going to be on the broadcast tomorrow. Chicago Blackhawks. I love this about fighting Tony, and this was in San Jose. There's my good buddy. And keep fighting, bud. We're with you.
Hockey Night in Canada continues.
Jeep 4xe Studio, powered by Jeep plug-in hybrid electric Grand Cherokee 4xe and Wrangler 4xe. Jeep, making freedom electric.